Hey everyone, it's Amanda, and welcome back for another fun-filled demo. Today we're going to be making some mini banana bread loaves in our mini loaf pan. I did check this morning, and this product is currently temporarily unavailable. But if you remember, as I stated earlier, if you just keep checking back because of the new live inventory system, it could be unavailable today and available tomorrow. So if there's something that you really like, if you really want this loaf pan, just make sure to keep checking back, and then once it's available, quickly snag it, add it to your cart, and submit the order. And if that's all you want, you're done. And if you want to add anything else to your cart later on or think you might want to, just let me know and I can unlock your cart, which will hold your pan for you, but let you keep shopping if you want to. Or we can always just check you out with just the pan at the end of the show. So, as always, please let me know if you have any questions. But we're going to go ahead and get started. I already have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. And as I said, today we're going to be using the mini loaf pan, which I love. It's got our super cute blue powder coating on the back. And then, of course, our super nonstick coating, which all of our pans have. This does, per the recipe, advise you to use your kitchen spritzer, which I was glad to oblige since I just received my kitchen spritzer. But I wanted to show you, since I did just get it, how easy it was to do the initial setup. Literally, all you do was take off the top and then unscrew the lid here, which is where your pump is, and fill the oil up to the fill line, which is clearly marked. You can't see it way back here, but there's an arrow and a line, so you can't, I mean, if you go over that, I mean, come on. So, but really, once you add that in there, all you need to do then is just kind of put your top back on. And what you're going to do is just pump down on this top, like pump it and lift it up about 10 times. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's like a workout. See how far you can go. It says 10 to 15 times. So you'll start to feel the resistance at around 10. And up at 15, it gets, a little harder. So the one thing I do want to let you know is when you're using this, you don't want to spray it at a 45-degree angle. So you wouldn't want to spray the pan with it laying flat on the countertop like this. What I would recommend is holding your pan up. Or holding it like over the sink and doing your little spritz of oil. And for the couple reasons I like this kitchen spritzer so much, although obviously you can purchase, nonstick spray in the store. This, you're not putting any of those aerosols into the environment. You can also control what goes into here. You know exactly what's in here. I know this is just canola oil. You can also use this for vegetable oil, grapeseed oil, so you're able to, I would clean this out and then be able to switch it up and use it for all different types of applications. So I was even thinking, I don't see why you couldn't use it for vinegar, like if you wanted to do like an oil and vinegar type thing and you wanted to just spritz on your vinegar, even though it's calorie free, so I pour that junk on there. But that could be an idea too. But one thing I wanted to let you know, when you go to store this, before you put it in your pantry, what you're going to want to do, you hear that air come out, is release that air that you pressurized, reseal your top, and then just press your top down. So that's how you want to store that. So I just wanted to make sure you were aware of that. So I'm going to place that back here since we're done with him. So I'm going to run through real quick what ingredients we need and kind of work as I'm going through, get this recipe going as quick as we can. So in this 3-cup prep bowl from Pampered Chef, which is a must, I have 3 bananas, which I've smashed. These were ripe bananas. And I have used our mix and mash, which is totally under like appreciated. This everyone loves the mix and chop, which you use to like do your hamburger, but this is the one to use to smash. So great for avocados if you're making guac. Great for bananas. Don't know that I would use it on potatoes unless your potatoes were super soft, but I mean, that mashed those bananas up in no time. So this is a great tool. So just, you know, it's a little under, it doesn't get all the spotlight that its sister does, but, you know, it's just as lovely. So there's our 3 bananas that we have smashed up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to keep working while we go. So I'm going to take those bananas and move them into one of our classic batter bowls. This is the newer version. It's a great bowl. It has your measures on it. So it has the 8-cup measure on one side, and you have your up to 2-liter measures on the other side. It has a nice sturdy handle. It has some weight to it, but it's not too heavy that I couldn't hold and stir. But the way that I usually do it is if I have a batter that I really need to get in there and mix, is I hold it and it fits really great in the crook of my arm, and I'm able to like really get in there and mix, or even hold it on the table and get in there and mix like that. But then it also does have this really nice big pour spout here. It's kind of hard to see, but that makes that nice if you need to just pour your cake batter or whatever directly into your pans. But enough about the prep bowl or the batter bowl. Also, it does come with a lid. Last thing. So if you're making cookie dough overnight, it'll work just great in that. So what I'm going to do is keep on going here. So what we're going to need is another 1/2 cup of oil, and I'm going to use my Measure All here, which I absolutely love. We're going to follow the blue side, which is for our liquid measure. So we need 1/2 cup of that. I'm going to add that in with my bananas. I'm going to grab my milk out of the fridge. That is the next item I need. And we're going to be using 1/4 cup of milk. So let me just set my oil back here since we're done. I apologize, of course. My milk, oh, good grief. It's all the way in the back of the fridge. Not big milk drinkers around here. So I'm using 2% reduced fat milk, but you can use whatever kind of milk you would like. But we are going to use 1/4 cup, so using that same measure that I measured the oil in. Toss him back in the fridge. Okay. Then we are going to add 2 eggs. And I will tell you what I do, because I am the eggshell queen when it comes to eggshells and baked goods, is I like to crack my eggs first into one of our 1-cup prep bowls, and then that allows me to ensure that I don't have any eggshell, because it's way easier to fish out eggshells from this one little bowl than it is from that mess. So we were good there. We got our 2 eggs added. We're gonna add our vanilla. Now, like I said, the recipe does call for 1/2 teaspoon, but because we're using the double strength vanilla, we only need 1/4 teaspoon. So I'm gonna adjust my adjustable measuring spoon there to 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, and what we're gonna do is give that a good mixeroo. So I'm gonna use my mix and scrape here and stir these guys up. Okay, shouldn't take too long to come together. Just kind of make sure you break up those egg yolks. Okay, and now in a separate bowl, which I have just another one of my, excuse me, 3-cup prep bowls. I'm going to add in, we need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So I'm using another Measure All here. This actually measures up to 2 cups, so I can get away with just using measuring one time. But in order to use my salad measure side, I have moved this cup down. So now this top portion is measured at 1.5 cups. So what I'm going to do is just fill up this cup here with my flour. And that will give us our 1.5 cups. Now I really like these measures, specifically for items such as mayonnaise, ketchup, shortening, peanut butter, jelly, honey, anything that kind of sticks in your cups and you're ending up having to use a scraper to get every little last bit out, these eliminate that step completely. You may just have to scrape off the very bottom of this cup, but that's about all you're going to have to do. So there we've got just about 1.5 cups of flour. So I'm going to show you how this would work. Let's pretend this were mayonnaise, although we know flour is just going to pour out of the cup. But what you would do if this was something that was going to stick in here is you just push up on your bottom here. And then that would just push out all of your ingredients. So at the most, you would just have to wipe off this little end. So this really works well for that. What we're going to do next is we're going to add our 1 cup. If you remember, like I said, we needed the sugar divided. So we're putting 1 cup into our mix for our banana bread, and then I'll let you in on a little secret we would do with the other part. The final part of this recipe calls for topping the mini loaves with cinnamon and sugar, which I will do on a couple, but then I also, like my husband always says, have to switch it up. He likes nuts in his walnut bread, or banana bread, walnuts. I like chocolate chips. So I'm also going to make some with chocolate chips and some with walnuts. I might put the cinnamon and sugar still in his because he likes that too. So, but here we go. We've got our 1 cup of granulated sugar. I'm just going to pour that into my 3-cup bowl there. Getting close to the top, but that's all right. We're almost done. We just need, using that same measuring spoon, I've just adjusted it up to 1 teaspoon, which is how much baking soda we need. Pop that in there. So we're done with our baking soda. And then we're just going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So let me get my measure all out again, or my adjustable measure spoon. So got that all nice and measured. Bring him forward because we will be needing him shortly. So here we have our dry ingredients, and I'm just going to use my little mixing spoon here to just kind of stir that up a little bit. What we are going to do is take our dry ingredients, which is our flour, our sugar, baking soda, and then our salt. Pour that into our batter bowl with our wet ingredients, which was the banana, the vanilla, milk, eggs, and then your oil. And we're just going to stir this up. Just going to stir it till it's combined. You don't need to, beat the living daylights out of it. Your bananas are, still kind of chunky, so you're always going to have a little bit of chunks in there, so you're not looking for a, super perfectly smooth batter by any means. So just scrape down this bowl. Looks pretty good. Okay, so now what we're going to do, just scrape off my scraper here. I'm going to grab my pan, and this calls for the large scoop to use to fill your pans, which I don't have. So I have the medium scoop, still waiting on the large scoop. I do have it ordered. So it might take a couple of these scoops. We're going to start, we'll try 2 to begin with, and then see how much we have, because this recipe should yield 8. So this 1 bowl of batter should be enough to fill up just this 1 pan. So I won't keep you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to fill these up, and then what I'll let you know about the topping, what I said is what we would do is take about a tablespoon of sugar, and I am using our special cinnamon that we have out for the holiday baking season, and combine those together. That should combine pretty easy. And then what we're going to do is you top your top. This calls to put it in the powdered sugar shaker, which would be a great idea. I don't yet have that, so this works just as well. But put that on the top, and then I'll do one for me with a couple of I'm using just mini chocolate chips, and then I think this one needs another scoop. But then I'll show you one I'm going to do for David. So I'm still going to put the cinnamon sugar on his because he likes that. Actually, I think that might be good on mine too. But the cinnamon smells good. But then on his, I'm going to stud it with a little bit of our chopped walnuts. So from here, I'm going to finish this up, pop these in the oven. We're going to let them bake for about 25 minutes. I'm going to use my cake tester and releaser to make sure that they are set before I take them out. Just going to make sure that the center comes out clean when you put that in. And then I will be back to show you the final result. So just hang tight.